Danganrompa V3 Killing Harmonies rated M for mature. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello and welcome back to more Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. Last time around, we were in the middle of a trial. Actually, we were closer towards the end of it. I didn't get to record last week because I was moving. And, yeah. Okay, class trial. Would you like to load? Yes. Continue. Yes. I do not remember where we left off. That was 2 weeks ago. So, if that happened, no one would have discovered Angie's bloodstain under the floorboards. Okay?
That's right. Shuichi and I only checked under the floorboards where Tenko died.
Yep, it's all thanks to Himiko for choosing the same room as Angie. This must be a Tua's will. Or maybe the power of magic.
Is he going bull on both of them?
It's neither. I just picked one.
Hold on. You're all acting as though you've proven that as fact already. You claim Angie was murdered in the empty room, and then moved to the lab? Then how do you explain the large amount of blood in the lab? It may be possible to carry a body, but blood cannot be moved.
True. Well, it'll be really hard.
I think she was still alive after the attack in the empty room.
Oh, maybe she ran into her room?
She was killed after she was carried to her lab.
That means the culprit attacked her twice. I have evidence of that. Oh, do we? Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, isn't it this?
This is it!
Yeah! It's the 2 weeks,
The
guys!
fatal wound was a cut to the back of her neck from the katana.
Okay.
But she also showed signs of blunt force trauma, and I think I know why. After Angie was knocked unconscious in the empty room, she was killed in her lab.
Sorry for me touching the mic.
I see. So that puddle of blood is from the killing blow.
Yeah.
Ha! It's all clear now.
Is it?
Angie was attacked in the empty room, carried to her lab, and it was there that the culprit finished her off.
Okay.
All clear. This is all clear.
I mean, Kiyo's not an idiot. No, not a complete idiot.
What are you all talking about? All clear? What is all clear?
He's not happy.
What are you? All clear? What are you all? You what? What are? I will not fear. I will not back down.
Sweet Korekio, calm yourself.
What the flip just happened? I am my character right now. What?
Your words are all hollow. There is no meaning to any of them.
Is he like multiple personality, kind of like the one girl was from the first game? What?
You must teach these ignorant children a lesson.
Yes, you're right. Okay, I'll teach them.
What the hell are you mumbling about? You're giving me the goddamn willies.
Not yet. Nothing is clear at all.
Okay.
It's full of doubts, of mysteries, of a dense, impenetrable fog!
Wow, he's going crazy.
Nothing is clear at all!
Wow. Kiyo's gone off the deep end. Bloody duct tape. Loose
Angie was
floorboard.
attacked in the empty room first, and then carried into the research lab? Impossible! Impossible! That's nothing but a delusion! You intend to poison our minds with your delusions?
Okay.
It's no delusion. Angie's 2 external wounds tell the story. After she was struck in the empty room, she was carried to the art research lab and then killed.
You
Okay.
say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains.
Bloody duct tape. Okay. Well, apparently I made a mistake.
You say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell?
Okay, discovered time of death approximately 2 a.m. Yes, she was killed by fatal stab wound to the torso.
The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains.
Nope. Okay. These are one of those games, like I said before in previous episodes, where it's just
Carried Angie's body?
loose floorboard.
Blood fell. The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains.
Okay, then it's the katana.
You say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single
I don't know. I'd love to know how it's that.
room had no bloodstains.
Okay, apparently usually there's only one. Is there a second one? There has to be a second one
The
then.
culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains. Even if you wipe them down later, there'd still be traces of evidence left behind. But there was no evidence anywhere, was there, Shuichi?
Oh no, there was.
I was
Oh
wrong.
my gosh, she's going crazy. Okay, I
The
need.
culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains. Even if you wipe them down later, there'd still be traces of evidence left behind. But there was no evidence anywhere, was there, Shuichi?
There you go. Okay. We got it. We're getting there. I'm losing health, but whatever. Who cares?
There was evidence left at the scene. The bloody tape under Angie's body.
Right. They must have wrapped her up.
It was wrapped around.
He's wearing tape on his
while
hands.
she was being carried.
Bloody tape? Gonta didn't notice at all.
It was under the body. It's most likely evidence the culprit should have gotten rid of. But since it was hidden, the culprit didn't notice and failed to dispose of it.
Didn't they put it on when they
must
think to
have
take it
fallen
off?
as the fatal blow was dealt and ended up under her body.
Oh, so they might not have noticed it fell under her body. Okay.
Must have been Atua who did that for us.
Atua? How long are you going to keep that up?
He's going crazy.
Now we know most of the mystery behind Angie's murder.
I'm convinced there's only one person who could have killed Angie.
Okay. Well, you seem.
It has to.
I like the tape on his hands.
It's you, Kyo. You killed Angie.
He did a double murder. Okay, they're trying to throw me off track, but like.
What the fuck? So it's true.
Well, that was obvious. Such a boring, obvious answer.
Dude, he's so bored.
Killed both of them.
Himiko's gonna kill you.
Why did you kill them?
No, he'll
In
fight.
terms of pure logic, only one victim was necessary to win.
Why? Why you killed them both?
I think one of the murders was an accident.
An accident?
Yeah, I don't think maybe Angie's wasn't on purpose. Because I bet when Angie she probably noticed the floorboard. I'm betting the floorboard one was probably an accident.
That's right. It wasn't part of the plan.
Tenko's was totally part of the plan.
Huh? Which one?
The murder that was an accident. Angie.
That's it.
Tenko was planned. Angie's was not.
It was an accident.
Yep.
What? Tenko wasn't accident?
Nope.
That's right. Kyo originally planned to kill someone with a seesaw trick.
I bet Angie accidentally discovered it.
While he was making preparations in the empty room, Angie walked in.
Yep.
So he decided to kill her in order to keep her from talking.
She just happened to walk in on the culprit setting up and was killed.
Ouch.
Then you should have just stopped there.
But that's like, that was the messy murder.
Once he killed Angie, there was no reason for him to kill Tenko.
Well, he had already had his plan. Might as well go out with
You
it.
only needed to kill one for this game. Killing two is pointless.
Hmm.
If you get bonus points for killing more, then sure. Otherwise, it leaves more clues behind.
Why, Kyo? Why you kill two of our friends?
Okay.
What on earth are you talking about? No, I'm not the culprit. So, why is everyone looking at me like I am?
Because you've duct tape on your hands.
Why? Why are they? Why is it? Calm yourself, Korekio. Yes. You mustn't raise your voice. You mustn't stutter. You mustn't lose composure. You mustn't...
He looks like a she in that kind of way.
You mustn't waver. Look at their horrid faces. This sorry lot is not worth agonizing over.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
There he goes again. What the hell's wrong with him?
It almost seems like he's talking with someone.
Yeah.
Someone? He's just talking to himself. And why the hell is he wearing lipstick?
Hey, you felt like it?
No matter how loudly you protest, this is a trivial matter.
Okay.
I will never acknowledge your allegations. Not a single one of them. For you see, there is no evidence that I killed Angie.
The tape around your hands?
No, I will not acknowledge it. I will only acknowledge facts, true events. I won't acknowledge fiction, mystery. I won't acknowledge your deductions or guesses.
Okay.
Well said. Good job, Korekio.
Does he like have an inner female voice?
Yes, thanks.
Creeps me the fuck out!
No evidence. There's no evidence that he killed Angie? You're wrong. There is evidence.
What?
What?
You do realize bluffs like that won't work, yes?
The weapon that was used to knock Angie unconscious in the empty room. That weapon tells us the whole story, Kyo.
Yeah, because everyone else knows that the gold plates would have come off easily. He would have handled it with care so that it didn't come off easily. It's the katana.
That's not possible. I think you may have misunderstood.
Okay.
Apologize. Come on, apologize. 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 Apologize.
Seriously, what the hell's happening?
Your guess is as good as mine, man. I know what's happening to Kyo. But I know what weapon he used it, and Angie, I have to prove it to him. Oh my gosh. That's kind of terrifying.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess.
Okay.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong.
Okay.
Yes,
Bam.
culprit. So I have nothing to confess.
Okay.
I have nothing to admit.
I am trying. Oh, he
Why
changed.
don't you force your delusions on us? Your logic. That's merely a delusion. Well said, Correcchio.
Okay.
To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic.
I'm
That's merely a
trying.
delusion. Well said, Correcchio.
Okay, I'm sorry.
To continue this debate is
I'm trying to see where these things are coming from.
force your delusions on us. Your I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such
Okay,
a sorry
oops.
lot.
My gosh.
Apologize. Apologize.
Apologize.
I don't like these things like appearing ever. I'm not sure where they're coming from, so it's just like,
Looking at me like
ugh.
You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Ugh.
Apologize. Apologize.
Apologize.
Apologize. I told you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth.
He's screwing with me.
Apologize. Apologize.
Apologize.
Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
All right.
Speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
I can't see it. I don't have that special power up.
Apologize.
Apologize.
I need to get that for the next trial.
I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth.
All right, we got Kyo.
You have no proof that Correcchio is the killer.
Floorboard removed.
I told you I am not
Okay.
the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. You have no proof
Okay,
that Correcchio is the killer.
removed floorboard.
It ends here.
I said floorboard removed, remove floorboard. Kyo confuses me.
Angie with the same floorboard used in the seesaw trick.
Okay. Oh, that would make sense why the board was bloody. Oh, okay, I get it.
And how do you know the floorboard was the murder weapon?
The underside.
There was a small patch of dried blood on the underside of the floorboard.
Angie's blood?
Probably.
Blood that spattered there when the culprit struck Angie with the board. But that's not the only evidence that she was hit with that floorboard.
Okay.
There's also the blood stain under the floor to consider. For that to be there, the floorboard must not have been in place at the time of the attack.
Good point. Had the floorboard been in place, her blood wouldn't have splattered beneath it.
Right. Well, it would have been harder for it to get underneath, at least. There wouldn't have been as much.
Keo's earlier confession is further evidence that the floorboard was used.
How?
If the weapon used to hit Angie is the floorboard from the seesaw trick,
It means the culprit knew about the seesaw, so the same person killed Tenko and Angie.
Oh, that makes sense. If they needed that board. Wow, that's a scream.
I believe that while Keo was setting up the seesaw, he was holding the board
Okay.
when Angie walked in.
And he cold-cocked her with the floorboard.
all you can do now is accept it. You even confessed to Tenko's murder already.
That's true. This is the truth.
Because like Tenko's murder was so beautifully planned, but Angie's murder was an accident, and it's funny. It's like in the second game, well, like the first game was like the both murders were already pre-planned. Like everything went to the letter, pretty much exactly how she wanted it with Celeste. In the second game, the nurse, she was in the process of killing the second person when the other one walked in on her, and that's why she killed both. For this game, he was starting the process to kill the first person. Hadn't even finished killing Tenko yet. Like, I mean, started and killed Angie. So it's interesting, like, the reprogression of that.
All right, Shuichi. I'll leave the finale to you. Bring down the house.
You got it.
Please, put an end to this. For Angie and Tenko's sake. End this class trial.
Yep, you got it, girl. We got
I'll
you.
go over everything one more time. Kyo, I want you to confess. No, I will force you to confess.
Closing argument. Start. Who is the culprit who saw in the empty room? Okay, let's try. What weapon knocked Angie unconscious? They removed floorboard. Okay. What compressing the injury in Angie's head while she was carried? Duct tape. What weapon killed Angie? Gold leaf katana. Whose effigy was stabbed with the katana? Okay, what handle of the spinning katana? Hit the sliding lock. Okay, I was like, Angie's body is found. Who unlocked the door? Well, object did Tenko rest? She rested on the stone. What weapon did the culprit set up on the iron cage? Who besides Kokichi was responsible for extinguishing the candles? That was me. But, you know. How was the culprit able to move around? Path of salt. Okay, now we have everything. So I'm just gonna unlock all of them. Apparently all of them. It wanted me to do it that way. Okay. So me. Okay, when the culprit approached the cage, stomps hard on the floorboard. How did the magic trick get erased? Everyone walked all over it. And who unlocked the door? Kokichi. That'd be Kaede's. Okay, and then I guess that one. There you go. Bam! I didn't miss a single one. That makes me happy.
Let's look back at the first murder. It was late last night. The culprit was in the empty room on the 4th floor.
Okay.
The culprit was preparing the seance murder they had planned. To use the floorboard as a seesaw, they had to cut the crosspiece supporting it. The plan was to make the same preparations for all 3 empty rooms.
Oh, but that...
divert suspicion away from the culprit and whoever picked a room. To cut the cross pieces, they needed a saw. I imagine they got one from the warehouse.
So he was planning the murder, but he probably wasn't planning for it to happen for a few days.
They were planning to cut the cross pieces in all 3 rooms. However, when the culprit was working on the middle room, the unexpected happened. Angie walked into that room and saw the culprit making their preparations. She needed some fire for the ritual and had gone to the room for a candle. At that point, the culprit had not finished the setup and was just cutting cross pieces. Angie might not have concluded that it was tied to some kind of murder plan. But now that Angie had seen it, the culprit couldn't use the seesaw trick. Any other person might have just given up, but not our culprit. The culprit took the floorboard they loosened and struck the unsuspecting Angie in the head.
I do feel sorry for Angie. While she was definitely a power player, I do feel bad for her.
The culprit did not want to give up on their plan and had to improvise. They wrapped duct tape around Angie's injury to stop the bleeding. Then they picked up her unconscious body and carried her to a research lab. While she was unconscious, the culprit hurried to tie up this loose end. But because they were in a hurry, they made a crucial oversight.
Oh, there's a
They
tiny
noticed
bit
the
of duct tape.
had peeled off and was under Angie's body. Without that evidence, we may never have figured out the culprit's trick. Carrying the supplies they needed, the culprit returned to the ultimate art lab. Locked the front door from
Excuse me.
inside. And took out the katana they brought from their own lab.
Okay.
They then stabbed Angie in the back of the neck, finally killing her. Then, to further confuse us, the culprit attempted to make a locked room mystery. First, they used rope from the warehouse and hung 4 effigies upside down. There were 2 reasons for this. To overwhelm the room with an occult atmosphere. And the other was the key to locking the room. The culprit stuck the katana into Kaede's effigy.
Oh, my bad.
And spun the effigy around to twist up the rope.
Okay.
After enough turns, the culprit let go and headed for the rear door. Once released, the effigy began spinning, and the gold leaf katana with it. The handle of the katana then hit the sliding lock, locking the door. A difficult trick, but remember that the lock was so loose it moved at the slightest touch. The culprit also would have had the opportunity to attempt it many times. Once complete, the door was locked, but the duct tape was left behind.
Just a little
Perhaps
bit.
the culprit noticed it, but by that point, it was too late. The room was sealed. There was no way for them to get back inside.
All right.
Then, this morning, we opened up the room and discovered Angie's body. But the culprit wasn't finished. They wanted one more murder. To do that, they manipulated us into performing this seance. Of the 3 empty rooms, the middle one was chosen for the seance. I was invited by Kokichi to take Kibo's place in the seance. Tenko volunteered to be the medium, but she never imagined it would get her killed.
Yeah.
To perform the seance, the culprit claimed they needed something for Tenko. A small stone that Himiko had brought from the courtyard.
Tenko,
at the culprit's request, bowed her head until it was touching the stone. That position was instrumental in making sure the murder went as planned. Next, Kokichi and I placed the iron cage over Tenko in the middle of the magic circle. The culprit then volunteered to drape the white cloth over the iron cage. We didn't realize it at the time, but that was a deliberate decision by the culprit. They needed to set up the murder weapon that was used to kill Tenko. While they were covering the cage with a cloth, they secretly placed the sickle. Finally, 4 of us placed the wooden statue on top of the cage. The culprit used the weight of the statue to keep the murder weapon in place. After the preparations were complete, we began the seance. In complete darkness, we each stood in one corner and sang the Caged Child song. When the song finished, the soul of the dead was supposed to enter the medium. But our culprit had another plan, to commit a murder in the darkness. Right after we started singing, the culprit began making their way toward Tenko. It would have been quite difficult to do in total darkness, but our culprit had a guide.
Salt.
They used the lines of the magic circle drawn with salt. The culprit felt for the salt and used it to guide them along. And when the culprit reached the center of the circle, they found the floorboard that had its crosspiece cut off the night before. Then lifted up their foot and stomped down hard on the floorboard. The floorboard lifted up like a seesaw and pushed Tenko's body up toward the ceiling of the cage. Tenko was stabbed in the back of the neck by the sickle on the top of the cage. She was killed right before our eyes, and we didn't even see it. After committing the crime, the culprit followed the salt back to their corner. Finished the ritual and had us light the candles. We followed the culprit's directions and removed the equipment used for the seance. And discovered Tenko's body.
Yep.
While we were all focused on the body, the culprit picked up the sickle and dropped it under the floor through the hole in the corner of the room. Ironically, the final step of the murder was unwittingly carried out by us. The culprit had planned a murder so that we would unintentionally destroy some evidence. That evidence was the magic circle that the culprit used to navigate in the dark. However, the culprit didn't know that Kibo had taken a picture. He really saved us. Without that, we wouldn't know what changes were made to the circle.
I still say you could have easily found the circle in the dark with the salt, because there's salt everywhere. You just walk towards the center. Because you're in a corner. You can't turn around and look behind you, so you could walk towards the circle.
But now we know for certain, and we know the culprit drew the magic circle. Korekio Shinguchi, the ultimate anthropologist. You're the culprit behind these murders.
Yep. Complete. That was a interesting
That's
setup.
where my detective work leads us. It all fits.
Sweet Korekio. There were times when it's necessary to admit defeat. Admit? Yeah. Okay.
So you finally admit you did it.
Unfortunately. Yes.
But
Yes.
why?
It's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. My one regret. My only regret.
It didn't go off flawlessly?
Being able to make 100 friends.
What?
100 friends?
Confused.
It was my dream to make 100 friends. Oh, it's so unfortunate! I was so close to 100!
Oh, did he kill nearly 100 people?
What are you talking about?
No way.
A word of this.
Okay, I know some people like have like their deranged notions of friends and friendship and whatnot. And like, have you ever seen like DuckTales, the new version, like where one guy keeps friends locked up in a cage?
Who gives a fuck? Let's vote for this kooky bastard and be done with this already.
Roger that! One voting time coming up!
The heart racing excitement as
They're not having it.
Racing excitement! As a blackened and a spotless finally face off. It's voting time!
Oh, it doesn't have Monodam there. Oh, Monodam. I think you're done. Alright. So, let me see. Man, there's so few of us. Alright, Kyo. I'm sorry, my man. But you be guilty.
Now then, it seems the voting has finished. Let's see the result.
Everyone voted for Kyo. Even Kyo voted for Kyo, probably.
Who'll be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice?
or the dreadfully wrong one.
Verdict. I don't think I did amazing, but I did not do good. Okay. I got an A overall, I guess, so that was pretty good. Wow, seriously, you're right again! Amazing! This is the third correct verdict in a row! If you manage to get 12 correct verdicts in a row, you'll proceed to a bonus round. How's that gonna last that long?
For now.
It's finally over.
No.
Not yet. I haven't heard his answers yet. And we will hear his answers next time. My timer is nearly out. I'm at like less than 30 seconds, so I'm just going to call it there before anything else happens. Next time we will hear what Kyo has to say to Himiko. We finally finished the trial. Next time around, we will get to see the execution and move on to Chapter 4. So thank you so much for joining me. Like, subscribe, and share. All really helps. And I will see you next time when we play Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. See y'all later.